Hello, all. Continuing with our study on the diversity in anoxic environments, today we'll be doing the reduction of iron and manganese. So, generally, microbial metal reduction occurs in stratified environments, environments such as water columns or sediments which are having a high input of organic carbon. In such environments, the oxygen depletion occurs very rapidly, and the rest of the organic matter has to be dealt with anaerobically. That is where we have our facultative anaerobes and obligate anaerobes coming in. So, if you remember from the methanogenesis video that I had shared earlier, I had shown you the water sediment zonation in the water sediments, and there I had told you that methane production zone is an obligate anaerobe zone which is found at the bottommost part of the sediments, which is upwards, moving upwards, which is followed by sulfate reduction zone, iron reduction zone, and manganese reduction zone. So iron and manganese are zones which are mainly acted upon by facultative anaerobes or facultative anaerobic bacteria. Now, before we go on into the different organisms that are involved in the reduction of iron and manganese, I just want to refresh your memory on the different terminologies that will be coming up in our next few classes. So, oxidation is the loss of electrons, like you all know about it, and reduction is the opposite, that is the gain of electrons. Now, if the electron donor is a is an inorganic compound, then that type of organism is called as a lithotroph. So, lithotroph is where the electron donor is inorganic in nature. And if the electron donor is an organic compound, then those organisms are called as organotrophs. If the electron acceptor is oxygen, so the electrons basically flow through a series of electron carriers. They are given by an electron acceptor and they flow through a series of electron carriers and are finally taken up by a terminal electron acceptor. If the terminal electron acceptor is oxygen, then that is called as aerobic respiration, which is what you would have studied in the physiology classes, wherein there is TCA cycle and finally electron transport chain, which is going to give a large amount of energy. If the terminal electron acceptor, so irrespective of whether the electron donor is an inorganic or an organic compound, if the terminal electron acceptor is an inorganic compound, it could be like nitrate, or I have shown over here the terminal electron acceptors could be sulfates, they could be ferric ions, or it could be manganic ions, chlorate, selenite, any of these. If they are the terminal electron acceptor, then that means we are talking about anaerobic respiration. So if nitrate acts as a terminal electron acceptor, then that is reduction of nitrate, because here it is accepting electrons or it is gaining electrons. And in other words, we can also call it as nitrate respiration because it is a type of anaerobic respiration. So just to familiarize you with these terminologies, I have put up this slide. If the energy source is from light, then it is called, the organism is called as a phototroph. If the energy source is from a chemical compound, then the organism is called as a chemotroph. And coming to the carbon source, we have autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are organisms which are getting their energy, or they are able to fix their own carbon dioxide. That is, they are able to convert the carbon dioxide into a carbon source. Those are called as autotrophs. Whereas heterotrophs are those which need a pre-prepared carbon compound or an organic compound. So what you need to remember here mainly are the electron donors, electron acceptors, and what is the meaning of reduction. These are the points that you need to remember because we'll be talking about these more and more in the next few classes. So coming in to the first reduction, that is ferric ion reduction or iron reduction. So iron is one of the most abundant elements in the Earth's crust, and its abundance is much more than that of manganese. So the type of reduction that you see is also more common in case of iron than in comparison to manganese. Now, iron exists in two oxidation states. The two oxidation states are ferrous and ferric. Ferrous is Fe2 plus and ferric is Fe3 plus. Now, when I say that it is going to show reduction, or if I say that there is ion reduction, it means that ferric ion, Fe3 plus ion, acts as a terminal electron acceptor. Ferric ion acts as a terminal electron acceptor for either chemoorganotrophs or chemolithotrophs. Now, what are these? So chemoorganotrophs, you can see over here, organotrophs are which are having electron donor. So this is related to the electron donor. Now chemoorganotrophs are those which have an organic compound as an electron donor, which could be fatty acids, short and long chain fatty acids, it could be amino acid, it could be a sugar compound, it could be an aromatic compound. So if there is an organic compound that is acting as the electron donor, those are called as chemoorganotrophs. Or a very common electron donor is hydrogen, and these kind of organisms are called as chemolithotrophs, because here the electron donor is an inorganic compound. So irrespective of whether the electron donor is an inorganic or an organic compound, if the terminal electron acceptor is ion in the Fe3 plus state, then that is called as ion reduction. So here Fe2 plus is the reduced form, that is ferrous is the reduced form, and ferric is the oxidized form. So we have the oxidized form getting reduced by accepting electrons or acting as the terminal electron acceptor. Now, this system is comprising of a ferric reductase enzyme. It is a membrane-bound enzyme. So, it consists of this ferric reductase enzyme and several electron carriers. So, whatever electron is being donated or being given by the electron donor, inorganic or organic, that will move through the series of these electron carriers and is finally accepted by the ferric ion. That is how the reduction of ion occurs. So these electron shuttles or these electron carriers, electron shuttles are a series of electron carriers. These electron carriers can be quinones like menaquinone, it could be cytochromes like cytochrome C, or even NADH2. These are the different electron carriers that are found in case of ion reduction systems. So apart from the electron carriers which form a series called as electron shuttle, we also have the enzyme, that is membrane associated ferric reductase. These are the components of ion reduction. Now the ion is going to Fe3 plus is going to act as the terminal electron acceptor, and you can see over here it is combining or it is accepting the electrons from an organic donor here. This is just an example. So it is accepting the electrons from acetate, which is an organic donor, electron donor, to form ferrous ion, and the acetate is being converted into carbonate. So we have the organism taking the electrons from the acetate compound. It is being accepted by the ferric ion, which gets converted into the ferrous ion, or ferric is reduced into the ferrous form. Now, most of the ion reducing bacteria, or most of the bacteria which are capable of doing this process, are having other terminal electron acceptors as well. So they can even use other electron acceptors as their for in their electron transport chain apart from the ferric ion. But what happens is, under the anaerobic conditions, the electron acceptor is either ferric ion or manganic ion. We will be studying about that a little later. So the electron acceptor is only either of these two, either iron or manganese, because these are the compounds that are available in that kind of anaerobic or anoxic system. So even though the bacteria is capable of using other terminal electron acceptors, these two are the ones which are commonly prevalent in case of an anaerobic environment. So you can see over here, this is just to show you a representation of the electron transport chain. So we can see that there are shuttles, electron carriers which are forming shuttles. The electrons are traveling through these shuttles and they are being taken to the membrane bound ferric reductase enzyme. So you can see here that this is resembling a normal electron transport chain which is seen in other bacteria. The difference being that the electrons, instead of going from complex 3 to complex 4 to form ATP, instead of that, they are being shifted or they are being transported via other electron carriers towards the outer part of the membrane, wherein we have the ferric reductase enzyme. Now this enzyme is the one which is helping us to convert ferric into ferrous. So this is just a representative electron transport chain which is showing ion reduction. Now here you can see that we have the ion cycle or ion cycling. So the common ferric minerals which are acted upon by microorganisms are ferrihydrite, which is the most common, or then there is schwarzmannite, goethite and hematite. These are some of the common ferric minerals which are found in the environment, which are acted upon by the organisms. Now when we talk about the ion cycling, there is ion oxidation as well as ion reduction. Ion oxidation is where ferrous is being converted to ferric. This is carried out by some organisms such as Thiobacillus ferroxidans or Leptothrix, Gallionella, or even photosynthetic bacteria like Rhodospirillum. So these organisms convert ferrous into ferric, or ferrous is being oxidized. Ferrous is acting as an electron donor and gets converted to ferric in this form. The part which we are more concentrating on in an anoxic environment is ferric reduction. So ferric reduction is where ferric gets converted into ferrous. Like I told you, the electron donors can be several. It could be an inorganic electron donor or an organic electron donor. I have shown you two electron donors over here. One is acetate and the other one is lactate. So acetate donates its electrons to ferric. In the process, acetate gets converted into carbon dioxide, whereas ferric gets converted into ferrous. Another example is where lactate acts as the electron donor. It donates its electrons and gets converted into acetate. Whereas in the same process, ferric is getting converted into ferrous. So this is the part that you need to focus upon when you write about ion reduction or ferric ion reduction. Now moving on to the organisms which carry out this process. So whichever is the electron donor, the organisms involved over here mainly belong to Shevanella species. Shevanella was initially, or even now in many textbooks, older textbooks, you will find that Shevanella has been given as Pseudomonas, but it has been renamed as Shevanella. So Shevanella onidensensis or Shevanella putrefaciens, these are the organisms which carry out, major organisms which carry out ion reduction. We also have Geobacter, Geospirillum, Geovibrio, and species of Alteromonas, Alteromonas ferrivorans and Alteromonas ferroxidans. These are some of the organisms which carry out ion reduction. So what happens in ion reduction? We have ferric ion acting as the terminal electron acceptor. It accepts the electrons and gets converted into ferrous ion. Who is giving these electrons? These electrons are donated by either an organic compound like I showed you in the previous slide, that is acetate or lactate, or it could be a hydrogen or any other inorganic compound. These are the common electron donors. So coming to the significance of ion reduction in the environment. Now there are aromatic hydrocarbons like toluene which have been known to act as an electron donor. So these hydrocarbons donate the electron and get converted into other compounds which are less harmful. So these organisms can be used to clean oil spills from the storage tanks or hydrocarbon storage tanks in aquifers which are rich in ferric ion. So the organism will utilize the hydrocarbon which has been spilled. It will utilize it as an electron donor. At the same time, it will utilize ferric ion which is already present in that aquifer or in that water body. It will utilize that ferric ion as the electron acceptor and convert or remove the toluene or remove the aromatic hydrocarbon from the environment. Another importance is there, this is a very important reaction or a redox reaction that is found in the groundwater system. So these are the significance of ion reduction in the environment. Moving on to the reduction of manganese. So manganese, like I told you, is though closely associated with iron, it is not as abundant as iron in the Earth's crust. So manganese is found in several oxidation states. You have +2, +3, +7. There are many oxidation states, but the two biologically important oxidation states are Mn2+, which is manganous, and Mn4+, which is manganic. Now in this case, manganic is the one which is the oxidized form. So it acts as the terminal electron acceptor. Manganous is the reduced form. This can only get oxidized. Whereas manganic is the oxidized form which undergoes reduction or which acts as the terminal electron acceptor. When it accepts the electrons, it gets reduced. Now the manganic reduction is carried out by bacteria called as manganese reducing bacteria, abbreviated as MNRB. So these manganese reducing bacteria, I'll tell you the examples in the next slide. These organisms will utilize sources of manganese, or the mineral form of manganese that is commonly found is silomelane or ferromanganese nodules, which are mainly found on the ocean floor. So these organisms utilize these manganese sources and convert the manganic over there or reduce the manganic over there to manganous form. You can see over here the manganic is shown over here, that is in the form of MnO2 or manganese oxide. And CH2O is just to show you the presence of an organic compound. It can be any organic compound, like I have told you in the case of iron. Similarly, here also, it can be any organic compound like a fatty acid, an amino acid, an aromatic compound, or a sugar. So, the organism utilizes an organic compound which is going to donate the electrons. Now, the organic compound should just be in such a way that it is able to donate the electrons, or the reduction potential of the manganese and manganic is very high. That so there are several compounds which can donate the electrons, unlike in the case of iron reduction. So the carbohydrate will donate the electrons to the manganic form, which gets converted into manganese or Mn2 plus form. So this is the common reaction or general reaction in case of manganese reduction. Now moving on to the organisms which carry out this manganese reduction. So manganese reduction is carried out by manganese reducing bacteria or MNRB. These organisms include Geobacter, Arthrobacter, Pelobacter, even Shevanella putrefaciens, which carries out the iron reduction, or Thiobacillus species, Thiobacillus ferroxidans and Ferrolobus. These are some of the common organisms which carry out the manganese reduction. Now, coming to the significance, so manganese is found in the drinking water systems because of reduction of the manganese oxides by microorganisms. So, organisms will reduce the manganese oxides which are present, converting it into a soluble form, that is the manganese form, which is found in the drinking water. Also, like I told you earlier, there are manganese nodules which are found on the ocean floors, especially in the equatorial regions. These manganese nodules are in the form of todokerite, which is one of the forms of manganese, todokerite. This todokerite and this manganese nodule not only contains the manganese mineral, along with that, it also contains manganese oxidizers and manganese reducers. So, all the organisms which are involved in the manganese cycling are present within that particular manganese nodule. And this is one of the places or one of the significance where we know about manganese cycling in the environment. So, you need, when you talk about the manganese reduction, you need to write about what are the organisms involved, what is the significance, and what is the common electron donor that is going to donate the electrons to manganic, which accepts the electrons and gets converted into manganese. So this was about the reduction of iron and manganese in the anoxic ecosystem. Thank you.